Okay, so we're diving deep today into social media,
Yeah.
which I guess everybody's using it these days.
Right.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
So you sent me this big stack of sources all about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you're really trying to figure out, like, what is it about these apps that's so alluring?
Yeah.
But also, like, what are the downsides?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is that, we're talking about social media as if it's this new thing, but, as humans,
Right.
we've always craved connection.
Right.
That's not new, right?
Yeah.
But what's new is like the scale of it and the immediacy. Like you
Yes.
post something and boom,
Yeah.
thousands of people
Too crazy.
could be looking at it.
And I think that's part of what makes it so addictive.
Totally. Yeah.
Like one of the sources I was reading,
Uh-huh.
it actually talked about how when we get those likes
Mm-hmm.
and comments,
Right.
our brain releases dopamine,
Yeah.
which like is the same chemical that gets released when we like win at gambling
Yeah. Right.
or
And
eat chocolate.
it's like a reward system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
Totally.
And so you just want to keep coming back for more.
Yeah. And it's kind of a cycle where you're chasing that dopamine hit.
Right.
And the problem with that is that, it can lead us to comparing our lives to these highlight reels.
Oh, yeah, the highlight
Yeah.
reels. Everybody's on vacation.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the perfect family.
We're all eating these beautiful meals.
Right. Gourmet meals every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just like, wait a minute.
Right.
I'm over here.
This is not real life.
Yeah, it's not real life.
No.
So how do these like algorithms we hear so much about,
Mm.
how do they play into this?
Well, algorithms are designed to keep you on that platform.
Right.
So they're going to show you more of what you already like, which on the one hand is like, okay, I like baking. I'm going to see a bunch of baking stuff. But it's also creating this kind of filter bubble.
Yeah, like an echo chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where you're only getting one perspective.
And you're not seeing like the full picture.
Right. And that can be really dangerous.
Yeah, especially when you think about how quickly misinformation can spread online.
Oh, totally.
It's just crazy how fast. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the sources I read said that false information
Mm-hmm.
can spread something like 6 times faster than the truth.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And it's like 1 minute, it's a funny meme.
Right.
Then the next minute, it's like people are taking it as fact.
And people believe anything.
Yeah. And it's hard to
know.
know to trust.
Yeah. And I think part of that is, these false stories,
Mm-hmm.
they play on our emotions.
Right.
And, if we see something that makes us really angry
Yeah.
or really scared,
Are really excited.
right, we're more likely to share it without thinking. So I think it's important to be really critical of the information that we're seeing online.
Yeah. Like what's a good tip for people to keep in mind when they're like scrolling through their feeds?
A good one is to check multiple sources.
Okay.
Don't just take one headline as like the gospel truth.
Right.
Look for evidence-based reporting.
Yeah.
And fact check.
Fact check, fact check, fact check.
Yeah, if something sounds too good to be true
Mm.
or too outrageous,
Right.
do a little digging.
Right.
See what's really going on.
And I guess it is ironic in a way because, the same technology that's allowing all this misinformation to spread
Mm-hmm.
is also what's allowing us to connect with people,
Right.
like all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is it
I know, it's pretty cool.
that we can share photos and stories
Mhm.
with our friends and family,
Totally.
no matter where they are?
Absolutely. And especially for people who are like, maybe geographically separated or have mobility issues, it can be really, really helpful for staying connected.
But there's always a but.
There's always a but.
Yeah.
There's a flip side.
Yeah.
Because those connections can come with some downsides too.
Like what?
Well, there's the potential for misunderstandings,
Yeah.
right? Like tone doesn't always translate well
Right.
through text.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's jealousy,
Oh, yeah.
comparison.
It's hard not to compare
It is hard.
when you're seeing everybody else's highlight reels.
Right. And then this pressure to present a certain image.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of people feel like they can't be their true selves online.
Oh, totally.
Have you ever felt that?
Oh, absolutely. Like you have to filter yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be too honest.
Yeah, it's like this curated version of yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's cyberbullying,
Oh, yeah.
which, that's a whole other can of worms.
Right. It's almost like it brings out the worst in some people.
Yeah. People feel like they can say things
Right.
that they would never say to someone's face.
Yeah, because they're hiding behind a screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anonymity.
It's scary.
It is. And so I think it's important for social media companies to really step up
Right.
and do a better job of moderating content
Right.
and creating ways for people to report harassment and abuse.
Yeah.
But the sources also talk about how we have a responsibility, too,
Okay.
as
Yeah.
individuals,
Right.
to be mindful of how we're interacting online.
Right. To be kind.
To be kind, yeah.
Don't say anything you wouldn't say to someone's face.
Right, treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Golden rule.
Yeah. And the sources also talk about some things that we can do
Yeah.
to create healthier social media habits.
Like what?
Well, one thing that I found really helpful is setting time limits.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Like, it's so easy to just get sucked in
Totally.
and spend hours scrolling.
I've been there.
Yeah. So if you set a timer,
Mm.
it can help you to be more mindful of your time.
That's a good tip.
Yeah. And another thing is to curate your feed.
Okay. What does that mean?
So, like, who are you following?
Uh-huh.
Are these accounts that are inspiring you?
Right.
Are they making you think?
Yeah.
Are they bringing you joy?
Right.
Or are they just making you feel bad about yourself?
Oh, yeah.
So if you're following accounts that are not serving you,
Right.
unfollow them.
Get them out of there.
It's like decluttering your digital space.
Yeah. Spring cleaning,
Yeah, exactly.
but for your phone.
Exactly.
And I know some people even like do a complete digital detox.
Oh, yeah,
Have you ever done that?
I have.
Okay, tell me about it.
So basically, it's just taking a break from social media for
Wow.
like a few days a week, however long you feel like you need.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be really amazing.
Like, what do you notice when you do it?
Well, first of all, you have so much more time.
Yeah.
Like, you're not constantly checking your phone.
Right.
You're just more present
Yeah.
in the moment. And I find that I'm less distracted
Mm-hmm.
and I'm able to focus more.
Yeah.
And I also I start to notice things that I
Right.
wouldn't have noticed before.
Yeah.
Like the beauty of nature
Right.
or the way the light is hitting a building.
It's like you're actually looking around.
Yeah, you're actually present in the world
Right.
and not just like in your phone.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
good reset.
Yeah. And it sounds like, what we're learning from this deep dive is that social media is not necessarily good or bad.
Right.
It's just a tool.
Exactly. Like
Right.
any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Exactly. So it's all about how we use it.
Yeah, the key is awareness.
Right.
Understanding how social media works.
Yeah.
Understanding the potential pitfalls.
Right.
And then having strategies in place
Yeah.
so that you can use it in a way that benefits your life.
Right. That enhances your life.
Yeah,
Instead of making you feel bad.
exactly.
Yeah. So before we wrap things up, we always like to leave our listeners with a little something to think about.
Yeah, a question.
Yeah.
A little food for thought.
So for you, dear listener,
Yes.
what is one small change
Mm-hmm.
that you could make
Yeah.
to your social media use today,
Today.
right now,
Right.
that would have a positive impact on your life?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's setting a time limit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's unfollowing some accounts
Could be.
that are not serving you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just being more mindful.
More intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About how you're using social media.
absolutely.
So take a moment to reflect on that
Mm-hmm.
and see what positive shifts you can create
Yeah.
both online and offline.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, this was great.
I always learn something new from these deep dives.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Well, until next time.
See ya.